We have our first firing, our first prediction only from May 1st, when we told you that someone would be fired in Major League Baseball during the month of May. Thought it would be Brandon Hyde. We may get a twofer, but for now, the Pittsburgh Pirates have made the decision to fire Derek Shelton, and the statements have been special. Now, the reason we have bleeds as our word of the day is I have never been a big fan of the concept of bleeding team colors. I've seen blood, mostly my own, and it's always red. I've actually seen Don Kelly's blood, and I know it's not black and gold. But Bob Nutting would like you to believe that this is the dawn of a new age. What it is the end of another week of so much Pirates material that it's almost hard for me to fathom. I think we need a break. I think there has to be a period of time where we don't talk about the Pirates, where they actually just try to win a couple games, where they try to have a normal moment. Bob Nutting must have been fuming watching all the negativity, realizing that he was before the break on Nothing Personal myriad times. So he thought to himself, what can I do to really show the fans that I care? Not that I'm interested in money or interested in low payrolls or interested in getting rid of bricks or interested in not worrying about fans. What can I do? Calls over his GM, Ben Cherington, and says, Benny boy, we are 12-26. We are 10 games behind the Chicago Cubs in our National League Central Division. We hired a manager way back in November of 2019, and he is one of the losingest? Is that a word? Sheldon, help me. He is one of the most, ready? 4869. Hi, David Samson. Check. I'm good to go. Derek Shelton has lost the most games since 2020 than anyone in baseball other than the Rockies and the Nationals. That's it. Derek Shelton has lost 440 games. He will not have a chance to lose 441 as a Pirate. So Nutting gets together with Cherington and says, what do you think of our team? Do you like Skeens? Well, he's a number one. You think we got a chance with Keller? Oh, he's good. Do you think Reynolds will start hitting? We signed him to a big deal. Why don't the fans remember they demanded us that we signed Brian Reynolds? We did, and now he stinks. We got all sorts of possibilities. What about this season, Ben? Can we recover? And the GM says what the GM always says, which is, of course, Mr. Nutting. Why would you think we can't recover? Because I know once you fire the manager, I'm next. I don't have another chance. I've got one more possibility. So, Bob, tell me what you think we should do. Oh, I think we got to fire the manager. Okay. Who do we replace him with? This is a good one. Well, we've got a guy right there on the bench. Now, he's not responsible for what's happened. He's only the bench coach. The bench coach isn't responsible. It's the manager. The bench coach doesn't have the power. He's in the coach's room with the first base coach and the bullpen coordinator. It's the manager. We need a new voice. We need someone committed to Pittsburgh. We need someone who bleeds black and gold. I couldn't, in all of the releases I did for new managers, I never said he bleeds teal and orange and red and magenta and yellow and green and blue and indigo and violet. Bob Nutting actually said Donnie is as respected, the new manager, Don Kelly, who, by the way, was a Marlin. We had him as a player. Real fans of the Marlins will remember Don Kelly as a Marlin. And you'll remember that Don Kelly's time with the Marlins came to an end when we had to bring D. Gordon back after his steroid suspension. The conversation was, yeah, we're going to add D to the roster. All right, who are we designating? All right, Don. It's been a nice little run. Don Kelly, really good guy. But having seen him, I can tell you, he doesn't bleed black and gold. But Bob Nutting will tell you he's as respected as any person in our clubhouse and throughout our organization. I'm not sure there's a lot of people in the organization who know the bench coach. That said, I'm going to give the benefit of the doubt to the people in ticketing and the people in marketing that they've got a very tight relationship with Don. And Don, this is not about you. This is about when you are being unveiled, when a bench coach is promoted to manager during the season because that's the best that the GM can come up with because they can't go outside the organization. They've got too many plays to learn. It's too difficult to come in from outside the organization. You got to learn the names of the players, for crying out loud. So you just bring the bench coach in, and you bring in the bench coach for the interview and say, hey, Donnie, can you do this? I don't want to, I'm very loyal to Derek Shelton. I've been here for a number of years, but if you ask me, I'm going to say yes. Do you know what a bench coach does when they're about to be promoted to be the manager? When your manager is being fired, they call their manager and they say, so Don, I'll bet you dollars to donuts, because it happens 100% of the time. Don, before accepting to be manager, calls up Derek and says, hey, what do you think? And the manager who's being fired always says the same thing. Man, I'm so happy for you. Good luck. I'm here for you. Call me anytime. Then they never talk again. So Donnie, who is well respected, was more than happy to step in. Why wouldn't you? You get a chance to be a manager. It's the dream of anyone. There's only 30 jobs. You wouldn't say no out of loyalty to your manager. So Derek Shelton gone, Donnie Kelly in. And we don't need to establish, I guess, that he's respected by everyone in the clubhouse and the organization. I'm not sure that's going to be the deciding factor with whether or not fans and media are happy with this change. But what we'll hear from Bob Nutting is that he bleeds black and gold. No one is more committed, and no one loves this team or city more than Donnie. It's my favorite, because I would never say it because it's such ridiculous hyperbole. Nobody loves Pittsburgh more than Don Kelly. Nobody loves the team. My rule was a very simple rule, that we would never say that, because we needed people to think that the owner is the one who loves the team more than anyone. So if I'm saying no one, that means that I had a manager for 5 years. Our team didn't perform. We have the longest postseason drought other than the Anaheim Angels of Los Angeles. And we were being led by someone who doesn't love the city or the team as much as his bench coach. Think about the idiocy of saying something like that. It doesn't make people look at you and say, what a great leader you are, Bob Nutting. No, it makes you look foolish. Don Kelly, Nutting continued, is the right person to manage our team and help us back on track. So I would like to tell you that managerial changes can help a team, maybe, and can lead to increased performance sometimes. Has nothing to do with whether the manager loves the city, knows the clubhouse, loves the clubhouse. The only time it ever worked for me is when we brought in a guy who didn't know anything about the city, couldn't name a player. It's a good one. It really is a good one.